What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk to you about some surprising news that a lot of you guys haven't heard. Like, this stuff is just starting to just roll off the presses regarding the person that was involved in the stabbing out there in at the Giant Eagle in North Olmsted, Ohio. This woman right here who was in court yesterday, in stories I covered where she was laughing when her charges was read about her stabbing a 3-year-old boy by the name of Julian Wood and his mother, whose name I keep forgetting, in the Giant Eagle parking lot in North Olmsted, Ohio. This woman, the suspect, her name is Bionca Ellis, age 32. She has some type of mental issues. But we went over a lot of the stuff that she was doing, and people have their own opinions on whether she was coherent or whether she wasn't. I believe she was, and I think this is premeditated. In this video right here, I'm going to show you 2 different videos from 2 different news outlets about 2 different stories that just popped up, and I think we found a motive, and I'm going to try to prove it to you. And it was something I said before that people gave me slack on in the comment section, some people. And I still stick by my guns. I think I'm right. But time will tell, and I think I'm 90% right. Take a look at this and we'll come back and talk about it.
Topping our news this hour and in your 17 Crime Watch, a woman who stands accused of killing a child outside an Ohio grocery store says she's killed before here in Bakersfield. 17's Michaela Armstrong has the story.
Bionca Ellis is accused of fatally stabbing a 3-year-old boy outside a Cleveland, Ohio supermarket. Ellis is facing charges of murder, aggravated murder, attempted murder, and more. The 32-year-old pled not guilty to all 7 of her charges at her arraignment Monday. According to police, the motive for the stabbings is unclear and appears to have been a random attack. Still, according to court records, Ellis told police that a few months ago, she killed a woman in California, Bakersfield, California, and dumped the body in an unknown area, possibly near a river. Kern County criminal case records show Ellis was accused of 3 counts of battery charges in late January. Ellis's depiction to Cleveland police was vivid, describing in the court records the victim was a white female, approximately 5'6", 150 pounds, and she was a bartender who worked at a bar. We reached out to the Bakersfield Police Department about the possible murder, and a spokesperson for the department responded, quote, Ellis did make some spontaneous statements, which were relayed to our investigators. This information was shared with the other investigators to ensure that the information provided wasn't consistent with the unsolved homicides that we were investigating. Therefore, BPD did not have enough evidence to hold Ellis on a murder case, according to the spokesperson, stating, quote, the information does not match any cases actively being investigated, and at this time, Ellis is not a person of interest or being investigated for any offense. But did Ellis kill someone in Bakersfield? Is there an unsolved murder that could have been at the hands of this accused killer? And does she have an alleged pattern of spontaneous killing? Many questions remain, but BPD says in regards to Ellis, the case is closed in Bakersfield. Police previously arrested Ellis on allegations of petty theft in Walmart in Ohio, arrested her for a nonviolent crime in Florida. And NBC News spoke to a detective who is working on her case currently and said there was nothing in her past to suggest, quote, that she has any violent tendencies. She is under a $5 million bond, and the prosecution is seeking the death penalty. Michaela Armstrong, 17 News.
Guys, that's the news. The first video I wanted to show you about Bionca Ellis. Woman claims that she, in Bakersfield, California, killed the bartender. Threw her body near a creek. Police said they don't have no missing persons data that matches what she said, but they said she described vividly the stature of the woman, what she looked like, so on and so forth. Is she lying? We don't know, because there can be people missing all the time that are never found in secluded areas where people might not go. But for her to say that and incriminate herself after she's already in custody for doing something heinous, taking the life of a 3-year-old baby, that says something. I said before in my videos that there are people that would rather be incarcerated because they can get better care for themselves, or they just don't want to live out in the outside world because the struggle is real. I watched in the videos, I watched them closely. Some of the videos they showed with her interaction with police earlier before that video of, the event days before when she was arrested in the wheelchair on that street corner, how she was so cooperative and ready to go. If you go back and look, and I want you guys to go back and look on the internet, that arrest video where she's sitting out there and they're talking to her, she's sitting there. Soon as they said, you got a warrant, she said, oh, yeah. She perked up as if she wanted to be incarcerated. There are some people out here that have fetishes of being locked up. There are some people that feel as though they get better treatment behind the wall than out in the street, whether they have a mental disability or not. It's no different than somebody that's homeless that doesn't want housing. They just like the freedom of being able to do what they want to do, or just their present state of being. There are people like this. I think she has a jail fetish or a prison fetish of where she's more comfortable in confinement. There are people that are like that. You got to remember, those with rational minds can't understand the irrational. This explains why she was smiling in court, so on and so forth, because she, is in a position where she's going back to jail. If you don't believe what I'm saying, and it might sound far-fetched, please don't judge and leave a crazy comment until you look at this next story. This is to support the statement. I knew it was something off with this chick, and I think the motive of her stabbing Julian Wood and his mother was to get put away forever. Take a look.
The woman accused of killing a 3-year-old boy in North Olmsted had a run-in with law enforcement clear across the country. I'm News 5 investigator Tara Morgan. We just got new records from California. Here's what they show. Months before Bionca Ellis made headlines nationwide.
We have a female in custody.
Are you bleeding? Are you hurt anywhere?
Female in custody, 1504.
That's right there.
The suspect in the stabbing death of 3-year-old Julian Wood had a run-in with police in Bakersfield, California. In late January, Ellis was accused of punching and kicking security guards and staff at a hospital. Police records show nurses flagged down an officer after Ellis assaulted staff while refusing to leave after being discharged. The officer found Ellis on the floor of an exam room, and records show she told the officer she needed to be taken to jail for the assaults. While in a police cruiser, Ellis told police she wished to do something to stay in custody for at least 2 weeks, but wouldn't say why. In February, a bench warrant was issued when she didn't show for court. In March, Ellis was in Kissimmee, Florida, arrested on a trespassing charge. Court records reveal Ellis tried to rent a room at a hotel, but didn't have any money and refused to leave when asked. She then told police she was on vacation from Ohio and she wanted to go to jail.
All right, Bionca, you know you got warrants. Girl, I don't know. They're probably for here, yeah.
In this body camera video, Ellis was picked up by North Olmsted police just days before the deadly stabbing outside the Giant Eagle. Store surveillance video shows Ellis following Julian and his mom out of the store. Authorities say they were attacked with a knife Ellis stole from a thrift store in a random act of violence. Ellis remains in jail on a $5 million bond. I'm News 5 investigator Tara Morgan.
Hear that? Guys, every time there's somebody that does usually big time crimes like this, they usually have a history, whether it's small or large, a history of run-ins with the law. And it usually has a pattern. She has a hell of a pattern. Bionca Ellis, always wanting to go to jail. She was in 3 places. Now, she's from Ohio. Went to Florida, right? I think she's a drifter, like a homeless person that goes from place to place. To be in those places that recently, just out in the street, something's going on. She's taking herself to these spots and trying to get arrested. In Florida, what they say, she's got a trespassing charge, something small. Tried to rent a room with no money. Refused to leave. That's the thing, a refusal to leave. Refused to leave. Oh, I want to go to jail. They locked her up. In California, Bakersfield to be exact. Admitted to the hospital. Like a lot of homeless people do, they get admitted to the hospital. Attacked the staff when they told her to leave. You discharged. I ain't going nowhere. You see a lot of people doing that. Oh, I need to be locked up. Attack the staff. Then runs through the hospital. I don't know how they let a big ass run and get away from them. They find her hiding in an exam room. Make it make sense. She gets caught. What does she say? Same MO as Florida. I need to go to jail. I want to go to jail. Told the cop, I want to hurt somebody. Then when she's out there in Bakersfield, tells people while she's locked up, oh, I killed somebody. Wanting to stay in prison, go to jail. Wanting to stay confined. I don't know if it's because she could get medication, free meals, but she didn't want to be out there in the civilized world or couldn't hack it because of a disability or whatever. There are people like this. Go back to Ohio. It's stair steps. There's levels to this. Different levels. In criminal activity, next step up, next step up, next step up until it turns into what? Murder. Stole a knife, didn't have money, she's a drifter. Killed a little boy. Boom, that'll do it. Walked down the street, laid on the ground like a baby seal. Picked her up, took her to jail. She in there smiling, up and down. She don't care who she hurt because she's the one that's hurting inside and feels as though she's going to do whatever she got to do to get her where she wants to be, in jail. Now I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how do you bring justice in the form of confinement to somebody that wants to be confined? It wasn't hard to figure this out. She got a jail thing where she want to be locked up, and she did the ultimate thing to get her where she wants to be. But this is the kick. If you listen closely in those videos, they know, they're going to figure this out. I mean, I'm not a detective. I figured it out. They're going to figure it out. You know what they're going to do? They're going to give it a death penalty. This case was a viral video, high profile case, shocked the nation. I told you they're going to make an example of her. You want to go to jail and you kill somebody's kid to do that. We're not just going to give you that. We're going to give you the death penalty. They're going to smoke her. I told you that when I first did this story, they're going to smoke her. When I seen that funeral procession and how they was telling people to come out and rally around the family and all this stuff, because nobody can take the loss of a child. And trust me, I can't fathom that happening to my children. So, my heart goes out to that family. Loss is lost, but the loss of a child is something that's real devastating. Her motive was to kill them, kill that kid. Like I said, stabbed the mom. She killed the kid, possibly get life. Don't have to worry about a lot of the struggles everybody else have to worry about out here. Because regardless if you're having a disability, being out here in the real world is hard, man. You got to make ends meet and run that hamster wheel. Some people don't have the stamina for that or the mental fortitude. But to do what she did is unacceptable. They're going to give it a death penalty. You mark my words. Watch. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's a hell of a way to end yourself. Your freedom. But I mean, freedom's like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. Man is never satisfied. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.